You can see how much adventure tourism we have. That IT industry depends upon travel. They've been talking of expanding Kangra Airport. They've been talking of expanding Shimla Airport. They've been talking expanding. So I think it's very obvious what steps need to be done. And we need to modify the 118 or put in provisions. We need to provide incentives to these people. Now, typically, municipal areas are limited and very expensive. Talks to high-value MNCs or other Indian industries. So we should make financial argument that coming to Himachal would save you money.
Meet Dr. Akshay Kumar Runchal, a distinguished 79-year-old Himachali. He is the CEO and founding partner of ACR Group, MD, and founder of CFD Virtual Reality Institute, and a member of the Advisory Council at IIT Gandhi, Nagar. With an impressive academic background and extensive experience, he has contributed to renowned institutions like IIT Kanpur, Imperial College London, UCLA, and Celtic. Dr. Runchal is a devoted advocate for preserving Kangra arts and currently serves as the president of Kangra Arts Promotional Society. His remarkable journey and dedication have left a lasting impact on McLeodganj and the field of technology. Why do you believe the service sector should be the focus of future growth for Himachal Pradesh? What advantages does it offer in terms of job quality and environmental impact?
The main reason is that the service sector is the only sector that produces high quality and high paying jobs. An average job in the service sector is anywhere from a package of 5 lakhs to 20 lakhs. 5 lakhs for semi-skilled and 10 to 15 lakhs for a graduate in some degree. When you look at the current economy, our economy is dominated, and the government stress seems to be in horticulture and tourism. Both of those, except for the owners of the business, in any hotel, there are 50 employees. One owner makes a lot of money. A manager makes 30, 40, 50,000, maybe 1 lakh at the most. So there is 1 or 2 jobs, high quality jobs. The rest of the jobs are basically 10,000 rupees kind of jobs for the ones. So out of 50 jobs, 2 jobs, 3 jobs, and that's it. So we are dominated. Our economy is dominated by low quality jobs overall. Where service industry is one of the few industries which creates very little environmental impact themselves. Like you sit in an office, you're answering phone calls, or you are doing some of your research. And so that's the reason I think we should go from low quality, low paying to high quality, high paying jobs, high environmental impact industry to low environmental impact industry.
But can you explain the specific focus industries you have identified for the promotion of the service sector in Himachal Pradesh?
I think we can first start with 2. One is the back office type of industries that provide support to other banks and IT industries, travel, and things of that nature. So all those are easy to put in Himachal because all they need is an office and good connectivity, good phone. That's all that's needed for them. You don't need much else. That's one focus. The second focus with a beautiful state would be medical tourism and adventure tourism. We are a very diversified geography, unlike Switzerland. Switzerland is basically hills and valleys. Himachal is hills, valleys, high deserts, places like Chamba on one end, and Leh, Ladakh on the other end, and Kinnaur at the other end, Kangra at the other end. You look at them, they look like 4 different countries. So you can see how much adventure tourism we have. Then we have all these, some of the most beautiful religious, or what I should say, places where people want to go. Places like, so those places can be service for adventure tourism.
Okay, so how important is connectivity for the growth of the service industry? What challenges does Himachal Pradesh currently face in terms of connectivity? And what suggestions can you give to improve them?
Connectivity is basically the backbone of this industry that I'm talking about. IT industry depends upon travel. You need to connect with your clients. And it's very important to have contacts. Like for me to have a 1 hour meeting from Dharamshala to Bombay would mean 3 days of travel for 1 hour meeting. Okay, that's kind of connectivity we have currently. Okay, you cannot go back to Delhi and come back the same day by air today, or by road or by air. It's 10 hours by road, and the flights are only from 10 to 3, so you can't go have a meeting, come back, right? The IT industry should be all over Himachal. I mean, there are beautiful places in Kullu, in Mandi, in Manali, all these places in Leh, Ladakh, we could have IT industry. Okay, so provided we connect it. Now, how do we improve it? They've been talking of expanding Kangra Airport. They've been talking of expanding Shimla Airport. They've been talking expanding. So I think it's very obvious what steps need to be done. And I think government is looking at the cost, and they are not looking at the revenue generating capacity.
So in your view, what changes need to be made to the administrative and regulatory environment in Himachal Pradesh to attract service industry business?
So I think we need to clarify the 118, and we need to modify the 118 or put in provisions where people who are invested in Himachal, who come here from outside, they become entitled to a small piece of land to build their house. Okay, and the advantage of that would be that that part is very essential, and we should put the provisions in 118 like they were put, because previously 118 used to have a provision that you had to tie up a piece of land and then apply, and they removed that now. You don't have to tie up the land. So I think next they need to improve the 118 to say that here are the criteria, and if you qualify, and you can buy a piece of land up to this amount. For houses, you are allowed 500. For businesses, you are allowed this much. And if this much is the investment, then we will cooperate with you and give you a Himachali status. We need to provide incentives to these people.
So what are the key issues related to housing and land laws in Himachal Pradesh that impact the growth of the service industry? How do these laws restrict the development of housing employees?
Basically, if you are a non-Himachali, from what I understand, in the municipal areas, you can buy a house property, but you cannot buy any agricultural land or any other land, which is even a banjar land outside the municipal areas, to build a house or some other. Now, typically, municipal areas are limited and very expensive, and usually may not provide, like if you want to build a house in Dharamshala within the municipal area, there is very limited options, and they're very expensive. And the same would be in Shimla, right? So new colonies or new people who may want housing, they would perhaps go out to the neighboring areas, which are not municipal. So they cannot buy a piece of land. And if they cannot buy a piece of land outside, then they have to go through the 118 process, which is, as I said, not a very transparent process. And you have to have a project report, and from that project report, you do all kind of things. And for a business, and for the private, from what I know, you have to depend upon convincing some officials or some politician in Shimla that you qualify to build a house.
So can you elaborate on the suggestions you have proposed to promote the service industry in Himachal Pradesh?
Yes, I think what the government needs to do is form a domestically, firstly, I think we should make a land bank, and we should say which still complies with 118. And in that land bank, we should say it's pre-identified land where any industry that wants to come in doesn't have to deal with 118. You just go to that piece, or you say, okay, I want this much land in this area. So that's a land bank, they call that. And many places like Gujarat and others, most industries, many states have that. The second step is modify the 118 to allow high-paying IT and other service industry people to somehow fit into that. I don't know what the procedures are, but it is something that the government would have to look into. So the third thing they should do is form a committee which looks at, there are some people already trying to do IT in Himachal. They're like 40, 50 small 1 to 3 person operations who are doing it. So we should first go and listen to them, say, hey, what is preventing you from becoming a 50% company? Why can't you expand? Okay, let's find out what they are saying. Okay, and I think most of them would tell you two things from what I know, because I've done part of that. One, connectivity, and two, lack of skilled labor. In much of Himachal, you cannot find a graduate from a college who can answer a call properly in English. So lack of skilled people is an issue. So we should listen to them. What are these ones? And then the government should then try and solve them. The government should form another committee which goes and talks to high value MNCs or other Indian industries in Bombay, in Pune, in Bangalore, these big cities, and they should say, okay, Reliance, what does it take for you? We have made land available. We are improving connectivity. We have a good road. We have national quality roads. We have a airport, which is, which meets. Now, what do you need from us for you to open your back office here and put your people in nice place, rather than in, in Gurgaon is practically, you've seen how busy Gurgaon is now, right? And how, because they save a lot of money among other things, right? So we should make financial argument that coming to Himachal would save you money, okay? And then, so we need to aggressively go out and court industry, IT industry, okay? They are not going to come to us just sitting here. We can't just sit here, make a land bank, say, hey, Reliance would open an office here. No, they will not. So I think these two steps are needed.
Make sure to drop a like and comment, and don't forget to subscribe to the News Radar.